What's up, man? Totally pumped because something just came into the mail. I'm about to show y'all. Wow! See that? Wow! Wow! So finally, my debit card or credit card, or I don't know what they even call it, but my card for my line of credit is finally here. So I didn't talk about it in my last video because it didn't happen yet, but I just went ahead and put down my deposit for my brand new PJ Air Ride 40-foot gooseneck trailer. It's getting built right now as we speak in Texas. I think it's Texas, and yeah, it'll be ready to pick up October. So yeah, that's when it's looking like I'm being ready, gonna be ready to roll, or my driver will be ready to roll. It's in October. She's went ahead and took a drug test today, so we got that done, and yeah, now it's time to buy some things. In other news, it's crazy how I see this every video, like I really do, and you guys are gonna get sick of it, but it is crazy how the universe really works. So my neighbor, right, seatbelt, safety first. My neighbor, right here, she is a tax accountant for a tax firm here in town, and she's really like one of the top dogs in the company. I mean, she does 50% of the work at the firm, at her firm. Just so happens that some of her clients own trucking companies, and just through handling their accounts, she knows everything about trucking. I mean, how to file the taxes on my IFTA, my IRP, which is the only thing I have left to do, by the way, to be in compliance with FMCSA, besides putting that deposit on my my insurance. I've been waiting to make sure that my driver was straight because she was at a different company, but now she's with me, so I gotta go ahead and do that. But yeah, my neighbor, she knows how to do all those things, and she's gonna show me how to do it. So one of the biggest things about not just a trucking company, but any company, you gotta find ways to offset costs and expenses, and one of the biggest ways you could do that is doing everything yourself. I mean, I'm already outsourcing my drivers, you know what I'm saying, my driving. People are driving my trucks. That's expense I gotta pay for. Factoring is expense I gotta pay for, and yeah, so there's all these different expenses. There has to be a way, especially being that I don't plan on driving any of these trucks. I just plan on just running and operating the admin side of the business. So she knows how to do all the admin stuff. She's gonna train me on how to do admin stuff, everything, even show me, get this right, how to get over dimensional permits. The process of doing that, she knows how to do it, and that is awesome because that is one of the loads, right? Those are loads I'm going for. That's the loads I'm trying to, you know, niche in. Besides going to direct shippers, I am looking to do loads, over dimensional loads, and yeah, the rates are good, and that's what I want to do. For you guys who are talking about, oh, you know, the trucking industry is dead, these rates are horrible, I disagree. You know, you just gotta find ways to do it. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta find ways to make it happen. You know, every market has its ups and downs, and you gotta adjust to it. You know, you just can't stay stagnant. Yes, the load boards were good, you know, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whenever it was good, when it was like the gold rush for trucking. I understand that, but at the same time, you can't just rely on load boards, especially if you're a carrier owner, a motor carrier owner. You better not just be relying on load boards. You better be out there at doors, knocking on doors, trying to make deals and make things happen. I mean, there's shippers out here, and they have to move freight. They have to move their product. So why not you? You know, you just can't rely on a broker. That's somebody else that's taking a cut of your money, right? Just speaking to you guys real quick, because I'm in a bunch of groups on Facebook, and I'm hearing it and I'm seeing it, but my mind doesn't work like that. I've always been business savvy, and I understand the importance of cutting people out, understand the importance of keeping your overhead low, and, you know, stop being lazy. If you're a motor carrier and you're not driving a truck, like I'm not talking about the ones who own motor carriers and their owner operators. I get it. You know, sometimes you're not gonna have time to dispatch your own trucks or go out there and shake hands with every shipper. So I get it. But for the ones who are, you know, trying to do what I'm trying to do, man, you better be out there trying to shake hands, make deals, build relationships, right? And try to figure out ways how can you do it. You know, you should be dispatching your own trucks, you know what I'm saying, until your business grows to the point that, well, okay, you need dispatches to help you. But, you know, you should be doing all those admin stuff. Don't outsource it, because that's making your cost per mile higher, you know. So there's little things like that. And I swear, if you know, even though I'm new, I know somebody can be like, oh, what, you don't know what you're talking about. You're new in trucking. But I guarantee you, because this is just a natural law of business, I guarantee if you look at your expenses, I guarantee you'll find an area where you can cut the fat off the pig. You know, cut the fat off the pig, man. And just gotta be, you know, proactive and stop being lazy. Yo, so I didn't record it. I wish I would have. Fuck. But I just got off the phone with a direct shipper in Jacksonville, and he wants me to send him some information about my company, which I do not have. But guess what? I will have it soon. So whenever I do, and this is my CRM that I am using, right? If you guys can see it with all my leads and whatnot. So I'm just gonna put a task in there, right? I'm just gonna put a task or a note in there, basically telling me to, hey, when I get my fucking shit, send him my packet, cause he's ready for me. I also spoke with another company called Solar Stick, right? And they're out of Jacksonville as well. I spoke to a gentleman, I won't say his name or whatnot, but if you guys want to call them and try to move some freight, especially, hope I got some dry van people, 53-foot dry van semis, because that's what they usually go for. So if you're a hot shotter like me, it ain't gonna go. But hey, the guy who's in charge of it, he was super cool, super I can't even think of the word, but he was cool. As far as what I found out with these bigger major companies, like Sunbelt, companies like that, they already go. You have to go through the corporate to move with them, and most of the time they ain't trying to put nobody on, man. But hey, at the same time, do not hesitate from leaving them your information. So didn't do it with Sunbelt, but the last two I called are big corporations. I still left them my information. Was like, hey, if anything happens or whatnot, I understand you guys, you guys are, cool. But if anything happens, let me leave you my information so you know who you can call. And that's what I did. So yeah, super excited. Let me update my little notes here into my CRM. Everybody should have a CRM, I feel. Just have a CRM with your. So relationship management. So all the relationships you have, business relationships, put the information in here so it's all one place, get rid of the paper, and it creates tasks, it generates tasks where I can click. Say I have a list of brokers, right? All I have to do is select all, and I can go ahead and write them an email saying that, hey, my truck is in this area and I'm loaded with this, or I have this and I'm trying to get to here, and shoot a mass email to them, right? It's like a template, and you'll be flooded with emails. You'll be flooded with emails from brokers, because you know brokers got to move the freight. So yeah, I would definitely deal with brokers. You also create a template for direct shippers, something that's generic. It'll autofill each shipper's different name, and it'll possibly just sending them your packet, right? And you never know, just send them your packet, then you follow up with them and say, hey, did you receive the packet? You know what I'm saying? So when you're making these phone calls, man, it's important not to sell right now. You know, you make the appointment, and at the appointment you sell. So the reason why I'm making these phone calls aren't to try to get any contracts done right now, to be honest with you. I'm making these phone calls, one, just to shake my little fear off, but it's to two, get somebody's contact, right? Get somebody's contact, a POC, a person of contact or whatever. Get their email, and then try to set an appointment. So with Brandon, right? This guy's name's Brandon too, and I'm not gonna say the company, man. I'm not gonna say the company. All right, you guys gotta do a little bit of work. You know what I'm saying? Book a business. That's why you make your money. But anyway, yeah, he was super cool too, man. And I called him, and the conversation kind of went like, hey, I'm Brandon with Gorilla Logistics. I was trying to get in touch with your shipping department. He was like, hey man, what's up? This is I was like, okay, cool. I was like, hey man, I know you're probably busy right now, and I understand that, but I was just trying to call to inquire about moving freight for you guys. Possibly we can go ahead and set up a date so we can have a phone conference and speak about our services. And he was like, sure. Do you have a packet, or do you have any company information or a website? And I told him I have a packet I can send him. Little white lie. I don't have it yet, but when I do. And he was like, yeah, cool, da 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 da. And I was like, all right, bet. So it's just that, it really is that simple. Once you get past all the facade and all the not even BS, but once you get off those big little, oh, I'm sitting up on top type companies, you know, you'll find the right ones. And really and truly, you don't need all of them. You know, I have over 113 right now in my CRM. Do you think I'm gonna run for all 113 companies when my goal is only to have 5 trucks? No. At most, I'll probably only need 3, maybe 5. 3 to 5. You probably need 3 to 5, and that'll be enough to really run for consistently. So and all these companies are manufacturers. So when you're a manufacturer, if you guys study supply chain, I suggest everybody study supply chain. Manufacturers, they just make the stuff, but they need to push it out, right? So if you're a hot shot, I would go ahead and look up people who manufacture in your area too, because the less you can travel for the higher cost per mile, the better. You know what I'm saying? Or the dollar per mile, the better. But in your area, look up precastings, right? Construction material, metal suppliers or metal manufacturers, things like that. And man, just go out there and get it, man. Like it's really shocking. Like I was like, damn, what were you nervous about? Like it really was simple, just talking to these guys or whatever. I wish I had a packet, but we're getting there. All right, we're getting there. Get off my nuts. But yeah. Chops.
Every time I end up on TV of some sort, I always get all awkward.
Yeah, man. You watched my first episode. And I was all stiff, like a robot, and now it just flows.
Yeah, man, we just.
This is one of the low boards or whatever, and this is their industry trend. So it shows you like how the price is going up weekly, monthly, or whatnot. So this is how I get my averages and stuff like that. So okay. So bam, this is the national demand or whatever.
Oh, so Florida's pretty low.
Yeah, Florida is horrible. So my plan of option for Florida is working up to getting direct shippers. So I always have a way to get out.
Gotcha.
Because sometimes you find a way back into Florida, but it's hard getting out. So since I'm gonna be based in Florida, it's important for me to get direct shippers. I actually called around Friday, and I got 2 of them that I got to send package to. But I haven't finished with my MC stuff, so I didn't tell them I ain't finished, but I got to send them packets. See how they break it in different regions. You know,
Right. Why
like,
I wonder why the Southeast is so much more money. Is there a lot more freighting down in this area than there is?
It's a supply and demand thing, actually.
Gotcha.
Supply and demand. So that's what the rate is. So probably in this region, and this is for flatbed. So in this region, it's more agriculture. So like cows or grapes and all that stuff. That's where you're gonna see that.
Grapes?
Yeah, no, I'm serious.
There's
like
no grapes in
California. They have grapes. I don't know now. So that has to be in my video. But
I don't think grapes are grown in the U.S. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but I don't think so.
that's okay.
I'm gonna have to look
Somebody be
this
like,
one
what
up.
the fuck?
Right? Grapes grown in the U.S. I'm gonna look that up just for fun now.
So it's supply and demand, right? So if there's not a need for trucks in that region, like a flatbed in that region,
Right.
it's gonna be lower because there's gonna be a lot of trucks in that region.
What do you think?
It's all about price. So,
Right.
So right here you have 231, and this is like a weekly trend. So 231, right? So we go. Let me pull this up. Bam. So these are my numbers, right? Where I got these numbers is based on me running 10,000 miles a month, right? And the revenue is based on how much I want to net.
All right, shit. You were right about the grapes. They are grown in California.
Yeah, they have wine vineyards. They have
Well,
wine
no,
vineyards.
wine grapes and grapes that you like table grapes are not the same type of grapes. They are completely different grapes.
They're still growing though.
So I wanna make 27,000 a month, right? The average right now is 20,000 a month gross is what I'm hearing, right? And the average is 10,000 miles a month is what truckers are.
So, all right.
Sorry.
So how you get? Wait? You're talking about like your gross profit is
Gross,
20,000,
yeah,
or your
gross,
net?
Gross.
Okay, I was like,
Gross. Nah,
I don't know. I was like, we're gonna have to be driving more than 10,000 miles a
hell
month to get
nah.
there,
Yeah.
because that's crazy.
So cost of goods sold. Well, this little template already had that name, but basically I took off the percentages. Will be for my driver's pay, which is 23%, and my factoring cost is what you know what factoring is, right?
No, I don't.
So factoring. So with trucking, when you move these companies freight, they do a lot of like net 30, net 45s. So with trucking, you need cash flow. So they have factoring companies that they will buy that bill of lading for you for like 3.5%.
Okay, so they're giving you the money more upfront.
Upfront faster, like 24
Gotcha.
hours or like the next day pay you, and they'll pay. Some of them are recourse, which means that like if there's a problem with that person who's supposed to pay them, they can take their money back, and some are non-recourse, which means they just pay,
Right.
they just buy that bill from you. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what I negotiated was 3.5% for the factoring, and then I have a reserve, which is 5%. It would have been 10% if I owned my trucks, but since I'm leasing it, I only need like 5% just for my trailers or emergencies and whatnot. So I rounded it off. It was like 31.5. I rounded to 32%, which gives me that number right there.
The 8640.
Yeah. So that leaves me with my gross profits of 18,360 right there. So my expenses, I have insurance, my truck payment. What I have so I have ADD. So So my deal that I negotiated with Enterprise, right, is $11.50 per month. What $11.50 gets me is 5,000 miles.
Yeah.
So that $11.50 includes 5,000 miles, which is half the mileage, and then it's 22 cents per mile after that 5,000 miles. So it's $11.50, that I did 22.5 times 5,000 for the other 5,000, and that's how I got that number right there for my truck payment average.
Yeah.
If I run 10,000 miles, basically running 10,000 miles.
But your truck payment should be fixed, right?
It's fixed to a certain mileage, so it's fixed up to 5,000 miles.
Oh, okay.
So if I run less than 5,000 miles, and then it's just 1150 flat. But if I go over 5,000, then they start charging me per mile.
Oh yeah, you said leased.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And why are we owning?
Because
Is it cheaper?
well, owning the payment will be cheaper, but the risk is higher. So with trucking, for you to really run one truck, you actually need 2 or 3 because you have to think one is going to be down for like for preventive maintenance.
Take it with you. Go show daddy.
And one is probably going to be down for like anything that ever had like something that wasn't planned, like
Gotcha.
unplanned maintenance. You know what I'm saying? So I learned that just through working with helicopters and just aircraft in the military, because we have every squadron has like 12 aircraft. We fly 3 missions just for that reason. Some will be down for maintenance, some will just break during operation. So when you look at that, if I were to, for me, how I'm trying to scale it, it would be less risk because every time I buy a truck, I'm taking on another risk, and I got to save another reserve, another 10% for that truck, and then in an event when it breaks down, I'm losing money. Whereas when I lease a truck and it breaks down, it's not driver's error. All I got to do is call them and they give me a next one. And every time I get another one, I'm taking on the same risk. My risk doesn't change.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas every time I buy a truck, my risk changes. It goes higher and higher and higher.
Gotcha.
So that's why I decided to lease. And then I have my trailer payment. It's $420.
And this one you own though.
I own the
Okay.
trailer. And then my storage, $75 to store
Where's the trailer being stored?
in Jacksonville.
Gotcha.
And then it said line of credit payment, but this is actually for the loan that I told you about with Amanda.
Yeah.
She gave me my numbers yesterday for how much I need and what the percentage, whatever the monthly payment. That's how much it'll be.
Cool.
And then my gas, I started up high. I started up at $3.90 a gallon, and I based it off my fuel economy being 5.5 miles a gallon,
Okay.
which is really like suckish. But I know it will never be that. But I wanted my numbers. I want to see my numbers at the worst.
The most conservative
Right,
numbers
right.
to see what you're looking at.
Right,
Gotcha.
and so that would be the highest because the average for fuel right now is like diesel is like $2.75, $3. You know what I'm saying? Probably when we go to California, it'll get in like $3.94. But I'm not even going in that region, so I don't have to worry about that. So those are real conservative. And then my load boards, like the boards where I'll get my loads from or whatnot, is $100. I'm using 2 different.
Like yeah, I do know that I've seen them charge a fee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so my total expenses will be $10,070. And then earnings before taxes is that, and I took out 30% for taxes, and that's what I'm netting. That look straight.
Yeah. I mean, but I will tell you, like, the trailer payment will come off the books. And that would flow to your balance sheet. So you really only get to deduct the interest. The payment itself is really not deductible. It would go back against the loan.
Okay.
That's how that would work. I'm totally cool with expensing the truck lease payment itself, kind of like as equipment rental.
Right.
You know, that's what that would be. Your insurance, did you get that quote from somewhere?
Yeah, I got it from Progressive.
Okay. Because the only reason I ask is, well, what about, and does that include workers' comp? Do you have to have that out on trucking? I'm not 100% specific
No, I don't have
on
that. I don't have to have that. So what my insurance is, it covers what the requirement is. What FMCSA requires you to have is $750,000 worth of liability. But for direct shippers, they want to see more. So that insurance is quoted for $1 million worth
Gotcha.
of liability.
like I said, I deal with a lot of loggers, so they do have to
Okay.
have workers' comp because they are in the woods,
Mhm.
you know, with those big
Dominic.
Machinery.
like steer skidders
Yeah.
and things like that they're moving around. So they do have, and they have workers. So
Mm.
that's a majority of my clients are like loggers.
Well, I don't have any employees. All my drivers will be 1099.
Right, so there'll be subcontractors.
Right, a day. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to run my numbers with you.
No, that looks good. Like I said, the only thing that I know would come off, I'm trying to think, I mean, you're gonna have some other overhead stuff too.
Right, like logistical.
Yeah, and just even your normal like this stuff. This is your overhead too.
Right.
Your computer, your
Right.
internet.
Right,
That still factors into it because you need all that in order to do every,
right.
you know.
That's when I got cold feet. My wife was like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "I got cold feet now." Like, you know, because I'm always like that. When it comes to spending money, I am like that. Like I have buyer's remorse. So.
Oh, I do too. Every time I have buyer's remorse in this house,
Yeah.
and it's in the grand scheme like $120,000 is a lot of money, but for a house, it's really not that much.